Hello everyone, Dr. Victoria Skirbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. Today we're going to look at the Taroscope for the sign of Pisces for August 2021. And I am using the Psychic Tarot by John Holland. It's also an oracle deck, but we'll use it as a tarot deck today. And I'm choosing this deck because there's really, if you're looking at psychic, you're really looking at Pisces. Pisces is one of the most psychic signs in the zodiac. Along with probably Cancer and Scorpio. The water signs are the psychic signs. Of course, the fire signs are also psychic, but in a different way. The way they get information is much more through flashes of intuition. But for like a general overview of energy vibrations, I guess, the water signs are generally pretty adept. Although Pisces is sometimes a little confused, and so it's not always clear if Pisces as a sign really has to come to terms with their own psychic ability. If you don't realize that you are psychic and you're a Pisces, if you poo-poo it, or if you just don't recognize it as being psychic, it can sometimes come up as things like hypochondria and phobias, and like, oh, why am I scared? I'm so scared, right? And there's no obvious reason that you're scared. Well, you could be picking up on something that's happening to your neighbor that you can't see, or that's happening in the world that your logical mind doesn't tell you what it is, right? So before we get there, let's take a look at the astrology. Let me look at my astrological calendar to see if there's anything specific going on with Pisces this month. Of course, with Pisces, we have to see if there's anything in Pisces. And of course, Neptune is in Pisces, right? Neptune has been in Pisces since 2011. And is there for 14 years. So it's there till about 2026. And it moves into Aries. Whole nother thing, right? But Pisces is in, Neptune is in Pisces, and Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. Now, Jupiter is also a ruler of Pisces. It's the classical ruler of Pisces. Jupiter at this point has moved back into Aquarius. So Jupiter is less in the picture this month for you, but of course Neptune is always in the picture for you, right? And so what else is going on here? Let's see if there's anything. Of course, when the moon is in Pisces, that's a very potent time for you as well. Or actually when the moon is in any water sign. So let's go over that, right? Because there's a flow in between the water signs. The moon is in Cancer from the 5th to the 7th. The moon is in Scorpio from the 14th to the, looks like, from the 13th to the, the 13th to the 15th. And it is in Pisces from the 23rd, actually from the 22nd to the 24th. Now that's interesting because in August, it seems like it certainly there's like all the weekends are touched by the water signs. So the weekends in August will be that energy of water. And let's see if Neptune is doing anything specific as your ruling planet. I know it is doing something. Let me see here. Let me go through this quickly here. Neptune. Of course, Neptune makes all kinds of aspects to the moon, right? But the moon changes so quickly. We have an inconjunct between Mercury and Neptune on the 7th. That is when the moon is in Cancer. Inconjuncts between Mercury and Neptune, it's easy to miss the mark. It's easy to delude yourself. So be aware of that. Let's see. What else is Neptune doing? Neptune, Neptune, Neptune. Just looking for the major aspects here. Okay, that looks like everything. And let me just check to see if there's any change here. All right, that's it. So that's the major stuff happening for Pisces astrologically as I look at the calendar. So let's take a look at the cards. So we have the 7 here. I believe this is the 7 of Cups in this deck. We have deception and envy. Envy. So there's some sort of problem. The 7 of Cups, which is what this card is illusion and delusion. So it's possible that there's something that you are deluded about, something that you're deluded about, something that you're not seeing. Somebody might be pulling a dirty trick on you because they are perhaps envious of you. What's crossing that? Conflict and defeat. This is the 5 of, I think this is the 5 of, see, this is the problem with this deck. It doesn't, hold on one second. I just want to check on this. I want to stand corrected. This deception and envy is the 7 of Swords. So somebody's pulling a fast one. Somebody's pulling a fast. Someone is not being truthful to you. It's crossed by the 5 of Swords. So this really is, please Pisces, be aware that people are not well-intentioned around you at this time. Not well-intentioned. What's at the root of this? The Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups. Very interesting. I have to wait to see what that means because I'm not exactly sure yet. Sometimes the reading develops when you see all the cards out, and sometimes you can follow the cards along. Here we have the 3 of Swords in the past. There has been a heartbreak. So I feel like there has been some sort of betrayal for you. Somebody has broken your heart, and you suffered that, and you're still sort of in the throes of that. And what's at the root of the situation is the Ace of Cups, is the simple fact that you want to be happy. That at the core of perhaps your decisions around this person or this situation was just the need to be happy. The need to find love. In the sky, we have the sacral chakra. This is the sexual chakra. So there's a lot of sexual energy around you. This is the place, this chakra is associated with the water element, which is interesting because you're all about water, right? You're Pisces. And so that energy is around you. There's great creative force around you. The most important thing with this chakra is healthy boundaries. Healthy boundaries, which of course Pisces is not always good at because Pisces is boundarylessness. But you must have healthy boundaries. So this is both a promise of great creativity. It's a promise of relationship. It's a promise of love, but only if you have healthy boundaries. Let's see what's in the immediate future. Authority. Well, that looks kind of scary, right? This is about your own agency, folks. You're in charge of yourself. You're in charge of yourself. Take responsibility for yourself. Take responsibility for the situation that you're in. This is about connecting with your inner authority. This guy lives within you. Find him and use him. Mind you, I have a Pisces moon, so this is for me too, I guess. How it's seen from the outside. Five of, what is this? Indigo is five of, I believe this is the, well, it's the five of wands. People see you that you're having a hard time. People see that you're having a hard time. And here we have, you're walking along a path, and the path has sort of broken apart, right? Like it's not quite safe, and yet you have to get to the other side. So it may require some sort of leap of faith that you can fly. Domestic situation, triumph. So this is victory. This is the Chariot card. This is getting back on the horse, guys. Get back on the horse. The Chariot card speaks of us moving on the path that our soul has wrought for us. So doing your soul's work, get back on the path. I kind of understand what this reading means for me. So it's about getting back on the horse, and it starts at home. So your domestic situation is where you have to choose your direction. Choose your direction. Is that in your home? It could be. Is that in your job? It could be. It really depends on what your domestic situation is like. Is this a family thing? It could be. Maybe you don't have a family. Maybe you live alone. Maybe you just have pets. Maybe there's just you and your husband, or you and your child, or whatever, right? You have to get on the horse. It's like action starts at home, and actions to walk your soul's path starts at home for you. My phone is making all kinds of weird noises. Huh. That's odd. Okay. I just have to check something. I'll be right back. I do have a reading today, and I was like, is it at noon or is it at 1? But it's at 1. So we're good. Okay. Back to the reading. Hopes and fears. Positive movement forward. Of course, this is hope, right? And it's not a fear. You want to move forward. You want to get out of this. And you can. Because at the root is that you are loved beyond measure. That happiness is there for you. It's right at your feet. Your happiness is where you sit. Your happiness is exactly where you're at. Outcome? Ooh, the base chakra. Woohoo! I love the base chakra. So this is the root. This is where the Kundalini lies. This is powerful. This is landing, Pisces. You're landing. I know. It's kind of a weird thing to have your feet on the ground, but they're on the ground. And this is what's required. It's required for you to deal with the physical plane. You can't escape it. You can't escape it through relationship or illusion or delusion or other people's promises. You have to stand on your own 2 feet, Pisces. Let's see if we can get a major arcana. We have the 9 of Pentacles, which is, what does it say here? Material harvest. Well, that's nice. That's good with the root chakra there, right? 2, mental conflict. So it's a little conflicting for you. Putting your feet on the ground is not really that comfortable. and the moon card, shadow. So this, there's no guarantee really that, um, well, I don't want to say that. This is an opportunity to really face your shadow, right? This is an opportunity to see both sides of the situation. This is the moon card, and the moon card in other decks will have a like a dog, a domestic dog and a wolf. So there are two parts of you. There's the domesticated part of you and there's the wild part of you. And that needs to be in balance. And when it goes out of balance is when you have problems. So let's see what's underneath it all. The Hermit, solitude. Solitude. This is using your wisdom. This is utilizing your wisdom. Rejoicing. This is the Three of Cups. This is celebration. And then we have the solar plexus. And the solar plexus is the fire in the belly. It's your own personal will and getting what you want. And utilizing this life that you have on this plane, this physical plane, to get done what needs to get done in your life. You have to get your head out of the clouds, Pisces, because that is a recipe, at least at this point, for more pain. And there's enough pain in the world. You don't have to do things to make it more painful. Okay, so that is the reading for Pisces. All right, let me just pull up all these cards now, and we will do an oracle reading next. So I have chosen the Sacred Path cards. Oops, sorry. Sacred Path cards by, I think it's Jamie Sams. I think that's her first name. These are fabulous, fabulous cards. I've had these for years. Jamie Sams. The Discovery of Self Through Native Teachings. Great, great deck. I think you can still get this. I don't think this is out of print at all. So we're going to pick 3 cards, just like we have 3 oracle cards for Gemini. I just looked in the driveway. I heard something and I looked, and there was a chipmunk. But he was so big that I didn't think it was a chipmunk. They're very well fed around here, it seems. Everybody's well fed at the Seeds of Transformation. If you ever come to visit, you'll see how well fed everybody gets. Okay. Coral. Nurturing. Sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug. Returning home. Shawl. There's a theme going on here. Reflections. Great smoking mirror. Okay. Nurturing. 13. There's poems in this, which I love to read. I love when there's poems. I just love when there's poems. So let's read this. It's funny because this book, I've had this book for so long. This was my first cat ate this part of the book. Josie. I had Josie in the 90s. He was my first pet. I grew up an only child, loving animals, but never being allowed to have anything but fish and a turtle, which you can't snuggle with. So, but when I got Josie, he was my first pet. Red coral, please remind me of the blood of all my kin. Each of us has feelings that reflect the joy within. May I nurture my own needs, then learn to share in turn the love that is my essence, the heart that in me burns. Interesting, right? We had that Ace of Cups at the root of the reading. So there's a lot of information, but I'm going to just I'm going to read the application because we'll be here for longer than any other reading if I read the whole thing. So if coral has appeared in your cards today, you're being asked to look at the idea of nurturing. It may be time to nurture yourself or another. If you refuse to be nurtured, it may be time to drop that superhuman attitude before you get sick. Coral tells us that our bodies have needs too. Pay attention and be good to your body. That is something that is not always easy for Pisces, because sometimes Pisces forgets they have a body. I've had a few Pisces friends that my first question to them always when I would see them was not, "Hi, how you doing?" My first question would be, "Did you eat anything today?" And oftentimes they'd say, "Oh no, I just had coffee," or "No, I forgot." You can't forget to eat, Pisces. While you have, one foot here and one foot on the other side, still have to nurture the physical body, which this reading really previous reading with the tarot cards really talked about. Coral also speaks of the planetary family. If you are feeling lonely or alone, it may be time to have a reunion with the other creatures that share the earth with you. Listen to all our relations and cut the "I'm the only one" refrain out of your thoughts. Coral always tells us to listen to our feelings. If you have been ignoring how you feel around certain people or how your body feels, Coral is insisting that you reconnect with those feelings. Remember, to feel is to heal. To feel is to heal. Okay, the next one is Shawl, which is 35 in this deck, in this book. Let me find that. Returning home. Earth Mother welcomes her children home when they have lost their way. The trail was lonely and so long, she whispers for them to stay. Within the protection of the shawl, where love abides again, their hearts may open to recall all relations as their friends. Beautiful. If shawl has fallen across your shoulders, you are being invited to return home. If you have forgotten yourself recently, it is now time to remember your essence and potential. If you have walked a crooked trail by falsely judging others, it is now time to come home to that loving heart and see the value in all paths and chosen lessons. You may be coming home to the magic that you once believed in, or a new sense of well-being, but in every case you are returning to a temporarily forgotten state of being. In every life, there is a need to return to the simplicity of happiness. Ace of Cups at the root of the reading. If you have forgotten how to find the simple truth that once supported your inner joy, it is time to return home. Wearing the shawl is coming home to the arms of the Earth Mother and being loved. The responsibility of taking the shawl is being loving to others who have forgotten the sacred path or their way home. So this is not just about compassion for yourself, which is sometimes the hardest thing for Pisces. It's also about compassion for others, which is less hard for Pisces, it seems. At least my Pisces. And the Great Smoking Mirror, Reflections. Here's the poem. Oops, maybe. Through the smoke I see, looking back, another reflection of me. Mirror of my inner self, who are you if I am me? Mirror of my outer self, what do others see? Is the truth of my heart is it the truth of my heart or human vanity? The great smoking mirror reflects the lessons of leaving the myth behind. You are what you decide you are. Remove the smokescreen that hides your natural talents or worth and stand tall. Remember the Chariot card in the domestic situation. Stand on your own 2 feet. Stand in your power and start at home. Stop cowering before your potential and live your truth. There are millions of role models to choose from. On another level, you are being asked to be a good reflection for others. Encourage others to be bold through walking your talk. The reflections you see in others may not make you happy if you are doubting yourself and your right to be. Jealousy on any level only inhibits growth and wastes energy. Shatter the mirrors that insist on self-importance, gloom, or failure so you can get down to what's really important. On all levels, the smoking mirror asks us to accept light and shadow as equal. The reflections we dislike can be worthy opponents who teach us to grow into our potential. Even our shadow sides serve us by leading us through trial and error to the true magic of self. Love yourself, and others will love you. Simple as that. All right, Pisces, this was a long one, but I hope you enjoyed it. Have yourself a great month. I know it's going to be a little challenging, but you can do it, right? Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. Much love, Pisces. Namaste.